Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Jay Acres. I know, same get up as yesterday, same hair, same everything, because I had to film yesterday's intro right before I filmed today's intro. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, and thank you guys for all the wonderful comments. And let's just get started. Today is a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Again, trying to eat as healthy, or trying to clean up and eat healthier. So here is breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. Okay, so for breakfast today, I'm gonna start with a little bit of butter in a pan. And I'm gonna grate a carrot. Butter also gives just a really good taste to oats, because we are making some carrot cake oats. I'm also going to add some pecans that I just smashed right here. And I'm going to add some raisins. I'm just cooking this up a little bit. I also want to add a little vanilla. And cinnamon. And nutmeg. And this pot has been so perfect for making oatmeal. It's my favorite new oatmeal making pot. Alright, next I'm going to add oats, water, a little salt, and some milk. Now I'm going to add some maple syrup. Now I'm just going to let this cook until it thickens up and it's done. That's it. Alright, this looks done to me. So I'm going to let it cool for just a little bit, and then I will have Charles do a taste test for you guys. And then I just topped it with a little bit of brown sugar. That's made from the pure cane sugar, the organic cane sugar, and molasses. All right, Charles is going to be a taste tester. When you stir it, it's still hot.
Well, I'm just trying to mix because you got the stuff on top, so I just want to kind of mix it together. Get a good flavor. Why does it look like it's carrot?
I don't know. It's just food coloring.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And I have to say, this morning, probably a good choice too, because it's chilly out
It's a
this
little
morning.
chilly. It's not super chilly. I mean, it's going to be a gorgeous day.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to get hot.
Yeah, it is.
It feels good. I've already got all the windows open and everything. I think it feels fabulous. All right.
Very hot, sorry.
All right, we're going to go eat breakfast. See you at lunch. Okay, it's almost lunchtime. We have a lot of eggs right now, so I need to be using some eggs every day. So one of the things that we're gonna do is make a quiche for lunch and a fruit salad. So one of the main things though that I'm trying to do as far as get us on a cleaner, kind of healthier diet is to get rid of the white flour and the white sugar. I need to go through what's in my container first and get rid of that white flour, and then the only sugar that we're going to use is going to be the pure cane sugar, and I use that to make my brown sugar, and I'm going to try and use more maple syrup and honey versus white sugar. So today though you will see white flour because like I said, I need to use what's in my container. I also need to make up some bread just so that we have some for sandwiches or whatnot. So we're going to make a loaf of bread real quick, or it'll be 2 loaves, and then we're gonna make a quiche, like I said, and a fruit salad for lunch today. Okay, I'm gonna start by making the pie crust. Now I have a lot less flour in here than I thought I did. And one of the reasons I needed to go through this first before I switch over to grinding our wheat berries is this is actually the container that goes with my mill, my wheat mill. You've seen me use it for years, but I haven't been grinding my own wheat, and I know some of you are gonna ask where I got my wheat grinder. So I'm just gonna tell you now, I got it when I moved to my second house ever. So I guess it was about 18 years ago, because Ash would have been a baby, and I met my neighbors and they were Mormon, and they grind their own wheat. Not that all Mormons do that, I'm just telling you as they were. And so I learned so much from them. They did all kind of canning. All the women came together. They would grind all their own wheat. I was able to buy bulk wheat berries from the Mormon store through them, and I would do that as well. And so I got my wheat grinder. It's the one that all of them used, and so I got it 18 years ago, like I said, so I don't know if they even sell it anymore, but I'll tell you when I get it out. It's either a Wonder Mill or a Whisper Mill or something like that. I'm sure it says it on it. I'll show you when I get that out because we're gonna need it to make bread today. Okay, so I'm gonna start with just doing my flour here. I'm just doing a cup. I don't measure anything for pie crust. And then I'm gonna use our lard. I know some of you are gonna say that's not healthy. It's actually been proven to be healthier for you than butter and definitely than oils. It just got a bad rap somehow. But if you look up the information, it's just not bad for you. Then I'm also going to add some Himalayan pink salt. And I'm just gonna get in and break this up a little bit. Now this has to bake for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So I'm gonna get this going and then we'll grind the wheat and make our bread, and then I'll make the fruit salad to go with it while all of this is baking. Okay. Now I'm just gonna add in some ice water. Almost right. Here, a bit more. All right. We're gonna roll out our pie dough. Guys have watched me, you know pie crust is not my best thing to make, but I can get the job done. I'm just going to spray this down and roll back out my pie crust. Just poke a few holes. And I'm going to bake this for just a few minutes. Okay, with the leftover pie dough, I'll roll it out. My grandmother always made little tartlets with it. But you guys all like to do the butter, cinnamon, and sugar. So I'm just going to cut this into some little pieces. And I'll pop this in the oven too. That's a little treat. I'll just move these over to my pan here. And I got this little bit of butter just softened and ready. I'll just put a little bit of that on. We'll need this butter to cook our onions and our asparagus. And then I've just got this raw sugar, or I guess it's cane sugar, and cinnamon. Alright, I'm going to pop that in the oven as well. And then over here, we're going to use some more of this bacon that I opened yesterday. And then I think maybe I'll do kebabs tomorrow and use the rest of the bacon. I don't know. This is bacon that I had just found in my freezer. So it is not the bacon that we bought when we got our pig. We need to smoke that yet. This was in my inside freezer, which I said I needed to use that up. So that's why we've been eating that the last couple days. So I will fry this up just like I did yesterday. And once this is fried, I'm just gonna set it aside, drain the grease, and then we're gonna saute some onions and the asparagus. Okay, so this bacon is done. I'm just gonna put it on this plate, let it cool off, and drain this grease. Now I'm going to add this butter. And onions and asparagus. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. pick this up. Alright, now I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to go in and just have my bacon in it. Just kind of crumble it up a little bit. I guess I should have crumbled you before I put you in. So here is my pie crust. And I'm going to go on and pour all this into my pie crust. And just kind of flatten it out on the bottom. And then I'm going to crack 5 eggs. Okay, so to this eggs, I'm going to add some milk. Somebody asked how I'm liking the raw milk. I do like it a lot, but it definitely takes getting used to. It messes your stomach up a little bit until you're used to it. I'm not doing heavy cream because the raw milk has all kinds of fatty cream in it. It's a very fatty, milk. Now, I would love a broccoli quiche, but because Charles doesn't do broccoli and Ronnie doesn't like cooked broccoli, I'm doing the asparagus. Katie and I would love the cooked broccoli. To this, I'm going to add a little salt. A little pepper, a little bit of nutmeg, and just a dash of cayenne. And stir that up again. Okay, then real quick, I'm going to grate some Colby Jack. I have a little bit of this farmer's cheese, and I also have a little Parmesan. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of all of these cheeses to put in it. So here is a mix just of all of those different cheeses. And then I'm just going to pour the egg over top. And I'm going to put this back in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. And here are the little crisps ready to come out. So here is the quiche out of the oven. This needs to sit for about 10 minutes while we make our fruit salad. Okay, now I'm going to start just a really simple fruit salad, and we're just doing it as a little side, so we don't need that much. There is some blueberries. I'm going to slice up some strawberries. And then I'll go rinse these off really good. And I'll do the grapes and then we'll rinse all this off before we add the oranges and the banana. Okay, I'm just gonna rinse this. Then I'm gonna peel and add the oranges. Also want to add banana. Then I'm going to add the juice of a lime. And a little drizzle of honey. I'm just going to stir this all up. Making a mess. But now the fruit salad is done. And I will get Charles come in and do a taste test. All right, so this then is lunch, quiche, the fruit salad. Let me get Charles. Okay, so Charles is gonna give it a taste. He's going in for the fruit salad first.
Is that a grape that
Yes.
you made look like a barrel? That is impressive.
Honey, I just sliced the grape, but thank you.
That looks like a barrel.
That's just a goof. And one grape isn't tasting the fruit salad.
Well, I get that. I was more curious than tasting.
All right, let's see what he thinks of the quiche. I haven't tried it yet.
So, I would have told you no. I don't really want to try the quiche. Never sounded appealing.
That's what camera's for.
That is actually pretty good.
By having him do taste tests, you guys, I can get him to try so many things, and he realizes things are not that bad.
Broccoli.
I didn't do broccoli. I did asparagus in it.
I know. I was reading your recipe and it said paragus because the A and the S got washed off with the E with water. Got wet.
All right, taste your fruit salad, a good taste of it. You should see if you can taste the honey and the lime and everything in it. And then
That's
we'll
really
go
good.
eat.
Like, the egg is not dense. It's really fluffy.
Good. I'm
That's
ready
really
to
good.
eat too. That's better. Of course, you can get another big piece of quiche. There's plenty.
It's good because I'm hungry. I'm on my second shirt today.
Yes, it is. It's warm out. And I found my mill, as you guys can see over here, but I haven't used it in years. So I am missing two parts that I still got to try to find. And that is, there is a little top that goes here, and there is a black sponge that goes in the inside. So as soon as I can find those, we will be grinding the wheat. But there you go. It's called a Wonder Mill. And has it for pastry, for bread, for coarse. And that's it. You just turn it on, drop your wheat berries in, or your oats, or whatever you're grinding. And it sends it straight into this bucket. And this latches on, and then this lid is just the storage lid, so you can keep your flour just in there like I do, and you just store it. But I gotta go find the other parts in the very messy, messy basement. All right, this gets very, very noisy, but I am gonna try and do it just by holding a rag over here, because I cannot find the parts that I need to put on this. So like I said, I'm just gonna try and hold a rag over it, and we're gonna pour it in and see what happens. Sorry guys, very noisy. Look in here. All right, well, it seems to be working. You can see that. So I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully get this full. But I'll just show it to you when I'm done because this is very, very noisy. Okay, so we got our bucket of wheat here. Made a big mess, but that's all right. I'll get used to everything again. Eventually I'll find the parts. It just hadn't been unpacked. We got so much stuff, still hasn't been unpacked 3 years later. But now we're gonna make this into bread. Now this is just hard white wheat berries. Okay, so if you want a really fine flour, then to be more like what you get at a store, you're just gonna sit and sift it. And what will be left will be the wheat germ, all the little brown bits, the casing. If you see, that is like very white. Now they have sifters you can buy, which would make it a lot easier than just doing it by hand. But you can, and you can spend a really long time doing this if you want to get a really good white flour. And I might invest, since I'm going to start doing it again, in a, you can see the difference, in a sifter. I might get one. But they're like 300 bucks. So for right now, I'm just gonna use our flour just like this, just the way it is. And it will just be a very whole wheat flour. So this is a very basic bread dough that I used to make way back in the day. It's so simple, it's just 2 cups of warm water. About 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Then I'm going to add some honey. I'm going to raise and just let this go. Now we're going to let this go until it gets all foamy in about 5 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And about 2 tablespoons, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I'm going to start adding in my wheat. And we're going to get this going. Alright, now I'm just going to let this go on a knead for a few minutes. And then we'll cover and let this rise. Alright, so now it's actually been a couple hours. Ollie's teacher and therapist just left. So I'm going to spray down these loaf pans. And punch down our bread. Then I'm going to divide this into 2. And I'm going to do it just like I always do, just kind of try and roll it a little bit. And then we're going to let it rise again. And we won't be eating this tonight. We're going to eat this tomorrow. There you go, and just put it right in there. pretty sticky from all the honey. Okay, so I'm gonna just cover this up and let these rise for about an hour. Okay, I set the oven at 350 degrees and I'm just using an egg and I'm gonna put that on top of this bread. Somebody had commented before that they've made bread forever and never ever used an egg on top. It comes out nice and beautiful every time. Then, you know, it's definitely not something you have to do. I love the look it gives. I love the little crunch it gives on top, and it's what I do, but I also have a surplus of eggs. So it is definitely not something that you have to do, especially if you don't have a bunch of eggs at your house or you're trying to cut down money even more. You definitely do not have to do this. All right, so here is the bread, this honey wheat bread. I'm just going to brush this egg on top. And this bread is definitely more coarse, and you can feel like the grittiness when you're molding it into loaves. And that is, like I said, because it's got all the parts of the wheat in it. So we'll see how Charles does. I haven't done this in years. So it used to be my favorite. I think it still will be. All right, I'm gonna pop these in the oven. So here is a look at the bread. It looks nice and beautiful. All right, so tonight it's about time for dinner, but I was reading your guys' comments and I just wanted to say real quick. So I guess to clarify what's going on with his blood work is it came back and his bad cholesterol was high, but his overall cholesterol was okay, but his good cholesterol was too low, and his blood sugar was high, his weight was high, his blood pressure was high, everything was high. Now his weight I don't worry about because he gets very active. He always puts on some weight in the winter and burns it all off summer, spring, and fall. And in fact, for a while there he got too small. Some of you have mentioned keto, low carb. I would love if he would do that because that's what I would be able to do pretty easily. He does not do that. He will never give up carbs that I know of. So that's why I'm trying to just switch to just doing cleaner, more wholesome whole foods, then kind of make that be step one and see what we can get from there. Hopefully then I can start to maybe get him to cut back some on the carbs. We'll see. But cutting back the white sugar and the white flour, that's pretty huge because we don't do a lot of processed food as it is. I did share you guys a haul. That's the first time I've shown processed food in forever. And he does not eat a lot of processed food at all, other than there's still ice cream from Theo's birthday that he's been eating on. Nobody else is even messing with it, but he eats on it like almost every night. It's his thing. He loves ice cream. So I will never get him to completely give everything up. He just won't. It would be better for me if he did, because like I said, I could do that. In fact, I tried keto again for a few weeks, and then just having to do all the baking and all the stuff. Ronnie and I were trying it together, and we ended up falling, and mostly just because all the stuff is here. You know, having to make all the bread and all the stuff and all the carbs. So that made keto just really hard. I think if you're able to do that and you don't have a bunch of people living with you, then it'd be way easier. And if he would get on board, then that's all I would do. But I can control doing things like switching to the whole grains, stuff like that, because he's not gonna go change that, or switching with honey and maple syrup instead of white sugar. So all of that is stuff that I can make changes that he should not resist. So that's the plan anyway. All right, so tonight I do have some lo mein noodles that I need to use up. They've been downstairs forever. So we're gonna make some beef lo mein. Now normally this would have broccoli in it. However, Charles does not eat broccoli, so I'm gonna use the rest of the asparagus that I still had. I used half of it at lunch. I'm gonna use the other half tonight at dinner. So let's get this beef lo mein started. Okay, so I'm gonna start by just boiling some water. And once it gets to a boil, it says just add a pack of lo mein noodles and cook it for about 6 minutes. Now I gotta check, I don't even know if these are Best By September 11th, 22. So I told you I've had these for a while. I mean, they'll still be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna cook these up. Then I'm also gonna go cut real quick this flank steak that we have. And that's what we're gonna use for the beef part. I am gonna cook that in my new pan. Thank you so much, Ginger. You sent me this pan. I was just talking this morning about how much I love the pot. So that is amazing. I'm so excited to use this. She said it can go straight into the oven. All right, so I'm gonna cut this steak up real quick and then we're gonna cook it up over here. All right, so here I've got the meat cut up. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of cornstarch here and a little bit of soy sauce. I'm gonna just toss this, and just so that it kind of tenderizes a little bit, I'm gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes. And then we'll cook it up. So while this is resting though, we'll make the other sauce. So here is gonna be soy sauce. I'm gonna do some ginger. Now this calls for brown sugar, but instead I'm gonna do honey. Ginger smells so good. Also calls for hoisin sauce, but I am out of that. So we're just kind of doing the ginger, the honey, and the soy sauce. And I'm just gonna stir this together. So this is the rest of my asparagus. I used half the bag at lunch. And I'm gonna just use probably a good handful. I'll probably save just a little bit left for tomorrow or another day. A good handful. I'm gonna rinse this and cut it up. Alright, I actually just went ahead and cut it all up because it still doesn't make really that much. Now, over here on a medium high heat, I am gonna heat up some olive oil. Okay, now I'm just gonna add the meat in one at a time. If you're running short on time, you don't have to let the meat marinate in the cornstarch. It just helps it be a little more tender. And now our water, you can see back here, is boiling. So I'm just going to add in the lo mein noodles. Okay, so now I'm getting some of this steak off here. I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil in here on that side because I'm going to add the asparagus. I just want to cook that up, kind of just stir fry it. gonna add all this sauce. Okay, sorry guys, I thought it was recording. I added the sauce that we mixed up and the noodles, and now I'm just doing a drizzle of sesame oil. And I'm just stirring this up, and that is it for dinner tonight. All right, you ready to give it a try?
I am ready to give it a try.
Theo's listening to something in there. I think Crashing Cars is what he's watching.
That's really good.
Good, I'm glad you liked it. I'm sure you're hungry. It's going on like 9 o'clock. And then the bread, I thought turned out really good. You guys can see it's still really pretty. It just is whole wheat. Are you gonna cut you a slice? All right, so let's see.
Just gonna break a little piece off here for a minute.
So the people think you should do keto or low carb to try and get your blood work right. What's your thoughts on that?
Can I eat ice cream?
No.
Then I don't like it.
So we will go with start with just making everything that I can as healthy as possible. So what do you think about the bread? Remember when I used to make it back in the day?
Which day?
The day we got together like a million years ago. I quit making the whole wheat. I don't know why. I quit grinding my flour. And
I like whole wheat, so.
Well, there you have it. I was afraid he was gonna complain because I haven't made it in a while, but
I'd like a little butter. I think it didn't come out right. I would like it with a little butter.
right, a little butter or on a sandwich or something. Yeah. But you can taste the hint of honey. I thought it turned out very good.
It is very good.
Alright you guys, that's going to wrap it up. The only thing he said after the camera's not rolling was this morning with breakfast. He said, raisins, carrots, and pecans. This is not a make again. But mind you, that's just because he does not care for those things. He did eat his bowl of oatmeal though. Didn't you, honey?
I did.
He did.
Those
are just not his favorite thing. He doesn't prefer nuts or any of that, but I thought it would sound good, and I thought I'd give it a try and see if I could get him to like it better.
Just to put it in perspective, I don't do chunky peanut butter. I have the hiccups now. I don't do chunky peanut butter.
Yeah. He's eating too fast. Alright you guys, that's going to wrap it up tonight. You guys, I'm going to aim for that same about 6:15 time to get this video up for you guys tomorrow, so hopefully that can become the new norm. I'm going to try. I never can seem to get it together enough to do it at a certain time, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye everybody.
This is really good. Really good.